So this is my reflection video for my final major project, which was the Blackletter Goth Subculture Festival. So overall, during the project, my main weakness was time management, and it was right from the start until the very end. I've had this issue before, and it's something that I always say I will learn from, but I end up still repeating the same mistake. So this time I will take it on board and I will apply it to future projects. I just struggle to balance it with my part-time job and just other commitments. I just struggled. But I now understand what it takes to create a larger project and how much work you actually need to put into it, and how important time management is through when you're creating something like that. So that is something I'll take on board. I think partially the reason why I struggle with time management was because I'm quite a slow worker, and it does affect my ability to do work on time. And I do need to find ways to speed up without it affecting the quality of my work. This sort of happens especially during the ideas making, sketching time. And then that then pushes everything back, which is what I found with this project. I spent weeks sketching or trying to come up with ideas for a project and left myself very little time to actually design what I wanted to design. Which another weakness is that I didn't actually have time to create some things that I would have liked to have added into this project. So for example, for the promotion of the festival, I was thinking of having an alternative clothing store that are around Newcastle or just in the UK. One of them being Damage Society. And I was thinking of having a advert printed on the back of a receipt, and that anyone who purchased there could use it towards getting a ticket or getting money off or some sort of promotion. And I was going to develop that idea and put it into my designs, but I ran out of time to develop it. So yeah, another way that I think I ran out of time was with my signage. I found out very last minute that, due to my own fault, that I needed to create the signage in dimensions that I wanted to create. So the quality of the signage that I produced was not to the standard that I was happy with, and I think if I'd had more time and I'd spent more time being able to learn dimensions, I think that would have really elevated that part of the project. But that's something that you learn from. That's also the case for the 1 minute film as well. If I'd learned more about After Effects, I feel like it would have sort of elevated that 1 minute video and actually being able to create something that was more fitting for the Goth Subculture Festival and on brand with the rest of my assets that I'd created. But I think all in all, that's just down to better planning and something that I definitely wanted to take into the future. Another thing that I found was at the start of the project, I had quite a large loss of direction, and I went from things completely unrelated to what my final project was to obviously thinking about the Goth Subculture, and I couldn't figure out what project I wanted to do for my final major project, and I think that started to put me off right at the start, thinking that I was behind everybody else, and I think that's just confidence at the start. but as the project went on, I actually ended up gaining a lot of confidence. And I feel as though I understand more what it takes to design a much larger project now. I understand how much work you have to put in to manage your deadlines, and having multiple crits a week really helped me keep on top of that. Um, so yeah, um, I would also say that I felt really pushed during this semester in a good way. Like I really, really enjoyed it, and I think that was down to the fact that we got to do a project that we were personally passionate about. And I'm really proud of the outcome that I've created. Obviously, it could be improved in different areas, and it's not perfect, but for the amount of work that I feel I've personally put into it, I'm I'm very proud of it, and I've realized actually how much I enjoy photography. Like I knew that I liked it before, but I really enjoy photography, and it's something that I would like to bring into my designs in the future, potentially. Because I'm thinking that I've actually started to find my kind of style of design more through doing this project. Um, so yeah, that's it's nice to end the project on a high. Um, but again, I would like to learn more After Effects and Dimensions, and um even Premiere Pro, just learning different softwares to be able to elevate the project in a way that I actually hadn't been able to elevate it when I was doing the project. Um, and I think it probably could have done with that. Um, I do think that the project was slightly weak on the advertising campaign side as well. Um, I had also previously planned to do a Spotify um ad campaign, but I also ran out of time to do that. Um, but it's nice to know that that's something I could consider doing in the future and have the ability to potentially create it. Um, I also feel like this project has actually helped me understand more like what goes into the design, and have the ability to reflect on my own designs like more critically than I was able to before this project. And that's particularly when I'm not rushing. When I'm rushing, it does get a bit harder to do that, and I do tend to make a lot of silly mistakes, as was seen with the first ale collab design, which was a complete disaster. But after going back and like reworking things and actually considering things properly, it did turn out really well. So I think something that I'm going to take into the future is to just, when things get a bit overwhelming and I'm trying to rush things, to just take a step back and really consider what is actually the right thing to do, because half the time when I'm rushing, I don't make very good decisions. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you.